So now let's go to the next presentation. It's we're going to hear from Mr. Tiago Rodrigues. Tiago is the CEO of the Wireless Broadband Alliance, and he's going to present some of the trials and examples of deployments that we have seen in different countries and different regions around the world. So, Tiago, thank you so much for being here, for accepting our invitation, and the floor is yours.
Do we have the clicker? Okay. Hi, everyone. So my name is Tiago Rodrigues. I want to thank you, Marta and DSA, for the kind invitation to be here with you today and share some of the work of the Alliance. I know that we are already late on the agenda, quite late, by the way, so I will try to do my best to be as short as possible. I know that all these materials will be available to you through DSA, so you can read in detail all the materials, and if you have questions, comments, if you like to discuss any of the trials that I will share, I'm more than happy to do it either today or you just reach out to me by email. So I will move fast in some slides, so don't be surprised if I just moved on. So the Wireless Broadband Alliance, for those of you that don't know us, we are a typical non-profit trade association. We have a group of members behind the Alliance. We have around 200 members, a mix of operators and technology players, and we have a robust set of technical programs. And one of those programs is the Wi-Fi Trials initiative. So what we do, we pick up the technology that we have been hearing about during this morning, and we partner with our members, and we partner with some enterprises and service providers, and we try to use that technology to address specific requirements, concerns that those companies have. I will present 6 examples. As I shared, I need to go very high level. I will just give you a snapshot of the work, but we have a lot of information behind these trials. So the first one is an industry 4.0 use case of a manufacturing company. This company is called Metis Aerospace, is a UK-based company. They do very high-end pieces of metal for airplanes, military use, engines, and they work with companies like Rolls-Royce, Boeing, Airbus, and many others. So they have a very rough environment for the manufacturing plant. They have, as you can imagine, lots of smoke, dust, very high temperatures, and they wanted to digitalize the manufacturing plant. So they wanted to make it more agile. And one of their number one concerns is, how can I reduce the downtime of the machines? How can I improve the ability to recognize any alert that I might have in one of my machines? They decided to go with Wi-Fi. We set up a group of work within our membership with companies like Samsung, Apple, Intel, Cisco, Broadcom, IBWave. We all work on a collaborative effort with the Metis Aerospace IT department. We set up a Wi-Fi, initially a Wi-Fi 6 network, then we upgraded to a Wi-Fi 6E. By the way, they tried in the past to deploy Wi-Fi in the manufacturing plant. They failed because of fault noise and statics that was available on the manufacturing space. And we ran a series of tests to address that, preventing maintenance. So at the end of the day, they were satisfied with the results. They accomplished the ability to run augmented reality applications over that Wi-Fi network. You can see there an example of an iPad and a smartphone looking to the different machines that they run. And by the way, these are very large machines that melt metal, very large pieces of metal coming out from very hot ovens that they forge the metal for airplanes, for example. And you could see how they apply that augmented reality with a set of sensors like temperature, vibration, pressure, and they could read by their maintenance team as they walk through the factory. They could very easily point to a specific machine and read all the information And if needed, they could start having video calls with external suppliers, and they could even have calls with other team members. So this was the Industry 4.0. The next one is about residential Wi-Fi. This was done in partnership with Cable Labs and Curio. So Cable Labs represents the cable community around the world. This was done in US, in a typical US single-home house. The main goal of this trial was to compare the benefits of Wi-Fi 6 versus Wi-Fi 5 for the most traditional or most common applications on a residential environment, like video streaming, voice over Wi-Fi, and similar applications. A ton of tests were done and use cases were tested. At the end of the day, and once more giving a very high level result on the tests, they saw a significant increase around 30% when comparing Wi-Fi 6 with Wi-Fi 5. The results demonstrate that, and at this moment we are now working on a comparison between Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 6 on the same environment with the same applications. Next case is in India. So we partnered with one of our members that is called CDOT and Intel. So CDOT is an Indian government company. They build and they manage and they deploy very specific telecoms equipment for India, because they have a lot of limitations in terms of infrastructure, power, very rough weather conditions. So we partnered with them. They wanted to test in a education vertical in a classroom the ability of exploring, migrating legacy Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 5 equipment to Wi-Fi 6, and in the future to Wi-Fi 6E. And we did a series of tests with them regarding that capability. They ran as well a series of tests regarding how to optimize the coverage of different classrooms. Because as you can imagine, for India or developing countries, so the number of APs to be deployed by each school is limited. So that was part as well of the scope. And at the end of the day, they realize, and the results, they prove that Wi-Fi 6 definitely has a much better capacity than one of Wi-Fi 5. And they optimize as well on this test. The 1 AP per each 2 classrooms with 30 students in each of the classrooms was some of the findings of the trial. Next, moving out of Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 6E. This is a different trial. This is focusing on municipality Wi-Fi. So we were approached by the European Commission in Europe to do a proof of concept about how can I have roaming between different municipalities. I don't know, probably many of you are aware, in Europe, somehow endorsed by the European Commission, there is a program called Wi-Fi for You, where the European Commission funds Wi-Fi networks for villages and towns across Europe. There are more than 29,000 municipalities that took advantage of that program. And one of the tests that they would like to prove is how can I have roaming between these Wi-Fi networks. So they partner with us. We once more bring a group of our members. We use the open roaming standard. And at the end of the day, we proved the ability of a user coming from municipality A with a credential from municipality A could be to municipality B or C or D, and they could use exactly the same credential. We test with all major devices like from iOS, Android, and Microsoft. And we did as well with a partnership with the MiFi Federation called EduRoam that focus on the university community. So even the university students, they could use their credential from the university, and if they go to these municipalities, they could connect using their ID from the university. So it was a good way to prove that roaming and that security over public Wi-Fi. Last two. So next one is in Portugal, is a partnership with one university in the center of the country. So it's in the Viseu city. Viseu is in the interior and center of Portugal. And after the pandemic, they reached out to the Wireless Broadband Alliance and they wanted to do a pilot on using the advanced capabilities for remote university classes. So they wanted to use the most advanced technologies, including augmented reality, virtual reality, to make the university classes more appealing to some of their students, taking into consideration that this university is somehow on a remote area. So many of their students are not local students. They come from one of the big cities like Lisbon or Porto or even from abroad. So they wanted to improve that ability to give a more advanced experience on the classrooms with 360 video capabilities and virtual reality. So this trial is still in progress. We are partnering with these companies, Extreme, Broadcom, Samsung, Intel. And if any of you have any interest in being part of this trial, just let us know. We can test different use cases that you may have. And the last one is here in Brazil. So we partner with our member Intel, Cisco, Samsung, Broadcom as well. Through Intel, we are working with Salvador International Airport. There is a Wi-Fi 6E network from Cisco up and running. And there is a series of tests, including Wi-Fi offload, even ability to public Wi-Fi security over open roaming technology, and run the typical applications of downloads, video streaming, downloads of Netflix before going to the flight. So run the traditional applications that all of us as travelers, we do on an airport. So this is in progress. So once more, if there is any of you have interest in knowing more or get even involved, please let us know, and I'll be more than happy to discuss those opportunities. And my last slide is just to summarize why we see these trials important and why so many companies are working in WBA to develop these type of initiatives. It shows the readiness of the technology. It shows and tests technology in a real environment with the real applications that all of us as consumers, we do. And of course, any gaps, challenges, improvements can be identified, can be feedback to either decision makers or to supplier partners, or even back to organizations like Wi-Fi Alliance, IEEE, and others for improvements of the standard. And my last message is, apart from these Wi-Fi 6, 6E, and open roaming trials, we are starting programs as well for Wi-Fi 7 and for AFC for testing not only our platform that we are developing, but as well our members' platform, and to show the readiness of AFC systems to the industry. So once more, if any of you, especially the regulators that are on the room, if you'd like to have a friendly environment, a collaborative environment to test some of these technologies, we are more than open to discuss it and to work together. And I hope that I didn't took too much time. Thank you for your time, and open to discuss further during lunch or during the afternoon. Thank you.